What up, G Life? It's your boy Shadow back at you with another video. Make sure you like, make sure you comment, make sure you're subscribed to the channel, and check out the playlist. The playlist is on top where I have all the videos, and the folder makes a video you're looking for a lot easier. Now, what I wanted to talk about today was something related to yesterday's video that I did about the whole whack 100 thing. Because if there's something that I noticed and I was seeing, when people voicing their opinion about the whole whack 100 thing, is a lot of people have this misconception about Los Angeles, right, and our relationship with black people. You know what I mean? Despite what even individuals from this side of town even want to spread lies and all that. You already know on my channel I never got a bullshit. I only tell it how it is. It makes no difference to me how people view my side, and people could believe whatever they want. It's irrelevant to the matter. You know what I mean? Because as long as you know the truth, I mean, what other people think is completely irrelevant. You know what I mean? But at the same time, I don't like when people spread false propaganda and be making up shit. You know what I mean? I don't like liars. Never have. Never will. That's just the way I was just brought up. You know what I mean? Because Whack 100 was spreading a whole lot of lies on his thing, obviously. And shout out to the homie Tres. The homie Tres kept his composure and he handled himself how a homeboy is brought up to handle himself. That is how homeboys are brought up to that's how we're bred. You know what I mean? We keep our composure. We never be yapping. We never try wolfing. On camera or for the views or to please the crowd. You know what I mean? You get nothing out of talking, because I seen that some people were trying to say that homie looked like he was begging his weed. That's bullcrap. Homie kept it like how he should have. You get nothing out of talking shit to a man through the phone or through the internet. You know what I mean? That's not down. That's far from down. That's coward shit. That's bitch shit. That's just it's all an act. Real motherfuckers say it to people's faces. They don't say it online or on phone calls or whatever. You run up and that's when they get to see your true colors. Wolfing online it's all an act. It's all a front, a facade. You know what I mean? So homie kept his composure and he handled himself how he should have been handling himself. So I applaud the homie. My respects to you, Tres. You a real motherfucker. You know what I mean? Because you handle yourself how we're brought up to be handled ourselves. You know what I mean? But there's one thing I was seeing is a lot of people were saying that a lot of Mexicans in LA are racist. That we're racist. Southsiders are racist, and etc. etc. And I even see some homeboys coming from different areas that are not from Los Angeles. That actually believe that this is how homies should carry themselves and behave, when it's not true. That's not how Sureños are in Los Angeles. We're nothing like that. Look, people always have to keep this in mind. It's never a black and brown thing over here in Las Calles. It's never a black and brown thing. What people have to understand is in Los Angeles, you have a lot of Hispanic gangs, and as many Hispanic gangs that you have as many Crips and Blood gangs that you have. You get what I'm saying? So you have a lot of gangs in general, and the gangs have to share territories in areas. And what happens when gangs share territory in areas? They have beef. So when motherfuckers are running up and jumping fools and vice versa, it's not a black and brown thing. If you're not from the streets and you're just watching all of this play out, you're gonna think it's a race thing, but it's not a race thing. It's never a race thing, so don't get it twisted. When you see motherfuckers going at it, whatever, that is one gang going at it with another gang. That is what it is. It's not a black, it's not a brown thing, it's none of that. It's one gang fighting another gang. So don't get it twisted. Because a lot of, look, how are Sureños going to be racist? How are we going to be racist when almost all the gangs out there, Sureño gangs from down here, have black members in their gangs? There's a lot of black homies in Sureño barrios. A lot of them. I posted videos on here. You guys seen them for yourselves. Almost every barrio has 3 or 4 black guys in it. You know what I mean? So how are Sureño barrios racist if they have black members? That is ridiculous. It's never a black and brown thing. It's always gang versus gang. Don't get it twisted. If you come down here, you'll see that there's a lot of black homies that have Mexican homies. You see a lot of Mexican homies that have black homies. You know what I mean? You see neighborhoods getting along with each other. You know what I mean? Like there's no, it's never a race thing. You know what I'm saying? People like to turn it into a race thing. Those who don't come from the streets like to always turn it into a race thing. You know what I mean? First of all, homies are never brought up to be jumping people that had nothing to do with the streets. You know what I mean? We don't target innocent random people. You know what I mean? We don't go. I was seeing that somebody was putting that homies shoot innocent black kids, which is a fucking lie, homie. You know what I mean? You smoke somebody that you weren't meant to smoke, my boy, and your whole hood is gonna be in some hot water. You know, homies are not just allowed to do whatever the fuck we want. There's rules to this shit. You know what I mean? That I'm not gonna go into, obviously, but homies are just not allowed to do whatever the hell they want. You know what I mean? Though that's ignorance. That's ignorance, and people that have absolutely no idea about the streets is the shit that they're gonna say. You know what I mean? Homies are just not allowed to target whoever the hell they want. It's not how the streets work. You know, there's consequences for actions like that. You know what I mean? Homies only target those who belong to the streets. You know what I mean? It's never just random innocent people. Yes, have innocent lives gotten taken. Yes, sad but true. Don't worry about it. Those neighborhoods, fix all those problems. You know what I mean? But that's the stuff that nobody ever hears about. You know what I mean? They don't get to see all of that play out. They just think that, oh, okay. Oh, you got the wrong person. Oh, okay. Make sure you do a better job next time. You know what I'm saying? It's sad. It shouldn't happen. It does. But we could say the same thing for when the United States goes to war. But hey, that's a topic for a different day. You know what I'm saying? So it's not like these people just be out here like targeting just these random black folks. You know what I mean? It's never like that. My barrio, we beef it with some blacks, we beef it with some Crip sets and some blood sets, but we're also cool with some other blood sets and some other Crip sets. You know what I mean? Like all my homies from Dead End Gangsta Cribs. You know what I mean? Shout out to them. Shout out to all my homies from Insane Cribs. Shout out to the homies from Neighborhood Cribs. We have homies that are Cribs that we get along with. We have homies that are Bloods that we get along with. You know what I mean? Like the Pueblos. Shout out to all the homies from Pueblos. My homie Dizzy out of Pueblos. But the whole point is that homies have relationships with black camaradas. Like, it's never a black and brown thing. Those who really come from LA, they know what it is, because even they'll tell you. Whack 100, everything that he was talking about in his video, talking about that there's beef and that Tres is gonna get checked for talking to, that's all a lie, my boy. That shit was all a lie. To be honest with you, I don't know what Whack 100 was talking about, to be honest with you. And I hit up some of my homies, from Peru, and hey, what's up with your homie? What's he talking? They started laughing. They're like, man, don't listen to that fool. That fool ain't nobody. They were laughing at him, my boy. Because it ain't true, my boy. What he was talking about isn't true. I honestly, I don't know what the hell he was talking about. Anywho, Tres came through with the facts. He came with his composure. That's why even homie was even laughing, because even he was like flabbergasted at the shit that this one was talking. You know what I mean? Because it was lies, my boy. He was clearly lying. And it's never been a black and brown thing. You know what I mean? It's always been a gang related thing here in Los Angeles. You know what I mean? And that's just how it is. So though I know that a lot of people like to lie and spread false propaganda, that's why a lot of people in Northern Cali, or a lot of people from the East Coast, they think that we have a bad relationship with blacks, when that's not true, my boy. Yes, at one point, was it serious? Yes, it was. Was it serious and hectic? Yes, it was. But keep this in mind, though. That was prison politics spilling onto the streets, right? And like I say, once again, it was gang related. It was a gang related thing. It was between two. It was between two groups or whatever. So, like I said, it was not a brown and black thing. Yes, were the opposite sides black and brown? Yes, they were. But it was, at the end of the day, it was a gang related thing. It was not a black and brown thing. You know what I mean? And as many stories that you could say that, oh, that you have Hispanics jumping innocent black people, there's many stories that you'll see of black people jumping Hispanic people. You know, like, so anybody could wolf it and front it all they want. You know what I mean? Um, you know, it's not like we wake up and we be like, hey, yeah, we should go target some random black people. How are we gonna benefit the hood off of that? You know what I mean? We have enemies that actually smoke homies from our barrio, and instead of focusing on them, we're gonna focus on some black fools that have nothing to do with nothing. Instead of coming and getting the payback, like how's that beneficial to the hood? You know, there's agendas. Like, get your heads out of your ass. Stop watching TV. Stop getting all your info from the internet and the TV. You know what I'm saying? But that's just my 2 cents on that. I wanted to speak on that because a lot of people do spread that false propaganda about homeboys' relationship with blacks. Ain't no black and brown issue down here, bro. Do some barrios beef it heavily with black gangs? Yes, you do. You have some areas that beef it heavily with Crips says, with Blood says. You know what I mean? Just like there's areas where Hispanics beef it heavily with other Hispanic gangs, and just like you have Crip gangs that beef it heavily with other Crips, or Bloods that beef it heavily with other Bloods. You know what I mean? It's a gang related thing. I'm just saying. Shut up, we up.